So, picking up with Coach Ford, he's going to answer a few questions that local Cushing Lions Club members ask of him. So let's check that out.
What's the character of this team?
Well, as in
Personal character.
on the court, off the court,
Off the court.
off the court. No, we kind of got rid of some of those guys. You know, when you're dealing with 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old young men on a daily basis, and these guys are coming from all different type backgrounds, we spend an enormous amount of time trying to mentor them, prepare them. We bring people in to talk to them drugs and alcohol all the time, how to treat women. We have etiquette class we just went through. We do a lot of different things. Unfortunately, we can't be with them 24 hours a day. I wish we could. My players think that I would do that if I could, and they know it. But at some point, and I'm big on helping players. I give, we discipline them in our own way. We try not to make it public. How we discipline them and the things we do, we don't make it public. But once I get to the point that I see that a young man is not going to help himself, that if I'm doing all the work, if I'm the one if I want it more for you than you want it for yourself, then it's time to go. And I found that out with a couple of young men, and it was time to go. And with this group right now, what they would tell you, and we've had no issues off the court. It's a pretty strong group of guys, but as I challenged them, we were a pretty strong group of guys this time last year. Just because you're strong and you're doing things the right way today doesn't guarantee you're going to be doing the right things from now and a month from now. So don't take it for granted. These are things I learned throughout. I learn every day. And there was a lot of things I learned from last year that you wouldn't expect to happen, that you learn from. And so we're literally, what you're talking about, talking to our players on a daily basis on what it means to have character. We have a thing now, and I got it on the 3 Ds, defense, discipline, and dedication. And we have outlined what all 3 of those mean, and they all go back to character at some point. I like this team. Does it mean somebody could go out tomorrow and make a mistake and do something that I wish they hadn't done? Sure, that could happen. That could happen. My own son sitting at home. That happens. It happens, in any sport, anywhere we go. All we know is make sure as our coaching staff and ourselves, make sure we do everything in our power to teach them, make them understand the expectations we have, and some of them make sure they understand that what they might have been able to do at other places or where they came from and all this, that it's not acceptable. Doesn't mean they're not going to make mistakes. But again, as I said, probably one of the least things I do on a daily basis is coach basketball on the court. It's the least thing I do. I spend more time counseling, making sure my players are doing the things in the classroom, meeting with them individually. But because, again, I've got 16 young men on my basketball team. All of them have families away from them right now. All of them. Probably half of them have girlfriends. I deal with that probably 75% of the time. What's going on at home? Girlfriends, class. Can't do this off the court. This is why you can't do it. But that's the job we're in. That's my job. Anytime I recruit a player and they say when they say I'm coming to Oklahoma State, I tell their parents, my job is to prepare them to leave Oklahoma State. That's my job, is prepare them to leave Oklahoma State. Prepare them to be a husband, prepare them to be a father, prepare them for the real world. That's my job. As soon as they get here, that's my job. And along the way, get them a great education, and win a few basketball games. But my job is to prepare them to leave Oklahoma State. That's my job, my number one job. And yes, to win games and make sure they get a great education. But, you know, we take a lot of pride, probably more than a lot of people, in teaching our guys real life. I've got three young kids, 10, 12, and 14, 2 boys and a middle girl. And, my 10-year-old's at every practice just about. And if school comes out, he comes straight to practice. Our practice starts at 3 o'clock every day. His school's out at 3, and here he comes. And I tell them, he's looking at them. He follows them all on Twitter. He follows them all on Instagram. So I want them to be a good example for him and my other children. So also I want them to see how I handle my son. My wife is around our program every day. I want them to see how I treat my wife. So that's just as important to me as getting an education, what they're doing in math class. Yes, we want them to get a good education. They're going to. They're going to get what they put into it. We got the greatest support system in America at Oklahoma State in our academic center with Miss Marilyn Middlebrook, the best I've ever seen. I've seen a lot. I played at Kentucky, Missouri, coached at 4 different schools. Our support staff is unbelievable. So our kids are going to get an education. They're going to get what they put into it, and we're going to push them to get a lot out of it. But for me, preparing these guys to leave Oklahoma State is just as important for me to win a basketball game. But I think it all goes hand in hand at the end of the day. All hand in hand. Doesn't mean it goes perfect. We saw that last year. It doesn't go perfect. I wish it did. Believe me, I wish it did. Make my life a whole lot easier. But it's not easy. Dealing with 18, 19, somebody said the other day, my life depends on the consistency of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old young men. And unfortunately, they're not very consistent. But hey, I enjoy it. I like it. So.
I didn't notice you mentioned Keaton Page. Is he still on staff?
Yeah, Keaton's still on our staff. He's in graduate school, helping us every single day. Just with him this morning for a while. Somebody who I love to talk to every day, obviously. He and I became very, very close when he played for me. The classic overachiever. Just a terrific young man. Wants to be a coach. I couldn't talk him out of it, so he wants to be a coach. But I love hearing his opinion. He was not that far removed from playing. He's a great asset as well. No, he's still on our staff. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Right.
Not control it, probably, but.
No, you can't really control it, especially on our end, because most of them have it before they get here. You're talking about tattoos. The only thing I would challenge you with, because I do it myself, a long time ago, and no question tattoos have become more prevalent. Tattoos, earrings, different things like that. And don't let somebody's perception get in the way before you get to know them a little bit. And I can give you so many examples. We had a young man, I can give you, Philip Jerk. How many remember Philip Jerk? 7-footer. He had more tattoos than you could. The greatest, nicest young man, calls me now 2 or 3 days a week. If I told him run through that wall, he would do that. Terrific kid. And I remember when I went and recruited him. I'm like, man, he got all those tattoos. I don't know. Kind of like you're saying, I don't know. But then I did say he is 7 feet tall. And we need a 7-footer. I'll take a chance. And love him. Marcus Smart got tattoos. We had a brother who passed, got it on his arm, different things. Marcus is one of the nicest, terrific young men I've ever been around in my entire life. Calls me Wednesday, what's today? Tuesday, called me Thursday night, telling me, Coach, I just love you. Appreciate it. Greatest. And I go on and on. Doesn't mean not everybody's like that.
We'll be back with more Donna and Friends right after this.
In the next one.
Have a seat.
Not there. Sit. The name of the show is Donna and Friends. What is your name?
Magda.
Next. Name?
Gene Hedman with A&G Meats.
Next. Name?
Tony Vaughn with Serco Industry.
Next.
Oh, God.
Guy Gadois.
Next! Next! Next!
But my personality.
Next! Name? Next!
Bill Cubbage.
Next!
Deputy Chief Charles Claxton.
Next!
You know who I am. I've been on Wheel of Fortune.
Next! Next!
Representative Lee Denny.
Next! No! What's your name?
Donna.
Come on, this is my last chance. You shot, I'll sing, I'll dance, anything.
Next! Get this guy out of here! Next!
Hi, I'm Donna Judd, and welcome to Donna and Friends. Reveal yourself, folks. Well, Marilyn, what? Brent Thompson, thanks for coming in today and visiting with me. With, of course, Fire Chief Chris Pixler, Chief Tony Fulton. Thank me now, a very special guest, Carter Sampson.
That's the queen of Oklahoma.
You're watching Donna and Friends with my friends, Lewis and Becky. We are in front of the iconic homestead in the middle of the Capitol, literally, with Representative Lee Denny. Good morning, Senator. Wow. While I'm on location at your place, Bob Notzmeyer. You'll want to stay tuned next week for more of Donna and Friends because you just never know what's next.